Hey everybody, good afternoon or morning or evening or whatever. Good day. It's Sunday, October 14th, and it's Kaneki. Welcome. I come in the name of the Lord, and I hope you got I'm not sure how the little thumbnail looks on the YouTube thing if it goes live, but just reiterate. So during the event, I just talk because it takes too long to upload videos that I record from my iPad to the platform. I mean, a half an hour video takes like 12 to 16 hours, and I don't want to go through all the trying to troubleshoot that. Yeah, so it's easier to just record what I have to say right on the platform. Yeah, and so in that, I don't look at the chat monitor while if anybody joins or not, because I can't. It's pretty much I got to focus on what I'm being imbued, yeah, like what the inspirations are coming from the Father is coming up. And then if you're here, hi, welcome, thank you for joining, and I hope you're having a great time. Greet each other, be kind in the chat room, and also if you have any questions concerning the chat or just in general, use a hashtag symbol, yeah, with the subject matter, yeah. And then what will happen is when I go back through the chat rooms, it'll be easier for me to look for who has questions amid the things that people are saying. And if you notice that someone else has the same subject matter as you with that question, try and combine the hashtags. So if you have a question about the spirit zeal, if I'm talking and then you're like, oh, I wonder about zeal, yeah. Use the hashtag zeal and then ask your question, so I'll be able to see it. Then if say someone sees that question with the hashtag zeal and they're like, oh, but I was wondering, is the zeal could zeal be different powers? Use a hashtag zeal, yeah, and then ask your question. But if you don't notice that, it's okay. At least use a hashtag so I know what the subject is on. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, welcome. Today, what I was outside, I just woke up, so and I was in the sun. And last night, while I was just sitting here, I just kind of not sit around, but I'm always thinking, but not thinking. Yeah. Like I had just like a lightness. It's almost as when you're falling asleep, you don't know when you reach that sleep point and you're still awake in conscience. It was like that, but I was completely conscious, right? I felt like I wasn't standing, I wasn't feeling the floor. So I was definitely being ascended. There was an ascension happening. And I know what happens when that happens. It means that I'm getting stronger and stronger on getting realized with the Father. Yeah, being able to ascend, being able to float on my own almost. Not physically, I'm not going to be floating around, like floating around in a chair around the room. Nothing like that. Who knows? Maybe that is to come. But of course, baby steps. Yeah, because if that happened, we would all freak out. Yeah. So in this, I went to bed very peaceful, and in this morning I woke up and was sitting in the sun and soaking up those rays, and it occurred to me there's no way that anybody can know the truth. Yeah, the set in stone factual truth. Just like there's nobody who can tell me what air tastes like. There's nobody who can tell anybody what air feels like, smells like, sounds like, or even looks like. Yeah. Yet we all can agree that air is as real as I feel like it's real. Yeah. Like I feel myself, I'm real. Air is as real as that. And we all can agree with that. When it comes to the concept of trying to base your faith in something that you cannot explain, yeah, this is where it came to me about the conspiracy theories. Yeah, there's going to be so many different informational, existential, outside the box, transcendental theories, not facts. Yeah, theories. And nobody, none of those people, including myself, can ever prove, yeah, that they are as real as air. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it's already a new frontier going ahead. And so in that, everybody is right and everybody is wrong. It depends on what so many things about each personal viewpoints, culture, how you grew up, your mindset, your knowledge, your intellect, the way that you can realize, the way that you comprehend, the way that you dictate, yeah, matters in your own head, and then it comes out, thinking, thought, yeah, emotional concepts, and then from the heart, that heart. And so what I wanted to say is that when I talk about when I say conspiracy theories, what I call it, I, for myself, it's an adventure for me. And I call it going down the rabbit hole. Yeah, we all know about Alice in Wonderland, and then whoa, yeah, what happened after that? She went down the rabbit hole. That is all in the rabbit hole. Yeah, and so when you're having your journeys down the rabbit hole with the conspiracy theories, yeah, and you are being fed all this knowledge and new information, from videos, from people saying, from people in the forefront who have these platforms, yeah, and they're like, oh, this is occurring over here. You are basing your yourself in their truth, and you don't even know them, yeah. So always be aware. For one, be aware. Always be watchful, even when you're watching. Watch yourself, yeah. You don't want to just fall for anything. One of the things that what I learned from the teacher, do not, the number one rule about the signs of the end times, yeah, and coming up to the end of the age, to a new world, the new earth, the new heaven, the new person, the new man, next level type of thing, yeah. Do not let anyone deceive you, and do not be deceived. And as you get further into the end of the age, the what was taught by teacher, it gets even more extreme. To the beginning, do not let anyone deceive you, too. There's going to be such miraculous signs and wonders and miracles that that people can do, that things are going to be shown in the cosmos as well, yeah, that they will be even enough to deceive the elect, if it were possible. The elect cannot be deceived, whoever the elect is, yeah. But what that's saying is these signs and wonders are going to be so real that it's going to deceive a lot of people. And that deception is not it has to do with you individually, yeah, how strong you are. And if you're going into the rabbit hole, and what you're finding, the little treasures inside of there, are you finding fool's gold? Are you finding real gold? Or are you even remembering to remind yourself, is this real? Is this fake? Or whatnot? And so what I wanted to impart on everybody, to help you while you go, as we're going through the ends of the age, and the age of omniscience and technology at our fingertips, and everyone is opening and realizing in the uncovering of transcendent type of thinking, and alternate patternings, yeah, alternate realities are crossing, opening themselves up to not the old traditional concepts that people used to be founded on, yeah, is to remain open to everything and attached to nothing when you are going down the rabbit hole, yeah. Remain open to everything, attached to nothing. I see people coming out of the rabbit hole, and then all of a sudden they're saying, we're aliens, you guys. Yeah, we are, but you cannot just, I'm not saying they're wrong, but I'll go more into, as we, in this talk, I'll go more into the individual type of sense of what do you mean by that, okay? So remain open to everything and attach to nothing. And so you're Alice, you're going down the rabbit hole, right? And you see something that catches your eye, yeah, like, oh my gosh, all these signs in the cloud. So you watch it, yeah. When you watch videos like that, especially if they're going to be compounded and put together, yeah, do not get cognitively dissified with it, because there's a lot. Don't let anyone deceive you. And I've noticed this, yeah. They will there's a lot of people out there who will mix the old with the new, and they'll have new technologies that make it look like it just happened, and it's not. I don't do Watchmen videos anymore, but before anybody, I was into this whole thing years and years ago. Yeah, a lot of the videos that people are saying, I'm just like, okay, I know. A lot of the things that is in common sense talk, the trumpets that are being blown right now, with people think who are thinking and it's new to them. I've known for years already because I was way more conspiracy theoried minded than more average than the above average person. Yeah, I've been a conspiracy theorist since I was 5 years old. You have to remember that. And I did uh I knew about the dollar bill. I knew about the NWO, a Nuis Coeptus, Novus Ordo Seclorum. I knew all about that. Yeah, and I also knew about the spiritual realms. In my life as a child growing up in the foster system, a lot of the foster families that well, two of them, I guess, and the one main one, they were non-denominational Christian, which is like a cult, which there were conspiracy theories. Okay, Y2K came up, I had to build a watershed. My whole entire house was on solar-powered electricity and batteries. Okay, like that. We had grain things. I had to make trenches. We have to learn how to do stuff like with preparing for the end of the world. Always preparing for the end of the world. All about the tribulations, the rapture, you know. And this is at a little kid age, yeah. And then now everyone, right now with the conspiracies and stuff, a lot of the more common sense and social factors of mature people, they're getting to that point of realizing that I've already known all that. So you can see like, you know, so that's why I just went ahead a little bit farther than people, and I'm coming back kind of to let you know, like maybe this is how you must do it, or else you're going to get lost in the fray. So that's the number one rule, going down the rabbit hole. Yeah, remain open to everything, attached to nothing. 2 is when you get something that focuses your attention, still remain open to everything, attached to nothing, and watch what you're watching. In that, if it's a compounded video of like, okay, this is the end of the times, like look at this and that and this and that, the flooding and the weather patternings, tornadoes everywhere, massive animal strandings, the oceans or whatever, right? They're going to compound those things, yeah? Video, okay? But those compoundings can sometimes make you think that it happens every day, moment after moment, yeah? And so when you get out of that, don't freak out after and walk around. Example of this is when I went on my own down the rabbit hole and I was looking at the dark web, yeah, with the Tor browsers, yeah, and the whole dark web thing where it's anonymous, but it's like, oh, we're only using this much of the internet, but the entire internet is down here and it's called the dark web and you can only access it through here and here, right? So I'm over there on my computer at night and getting all this information and downloading it, but I was like, oh, should I push the button, you know? And I was watching video after video about the dark web, and of course it was like it was crazy. And I cognitively disified myself, thinking that, oh my gosh, like the entirety of the dark web is only about these crazy stuff, like ridiculously atrocious things, yeah. So I pushed the button and I went down to the Tor, and then I was like, oh, you know, and like trying, I don't know. I ended up that night like locking all my doors. I had like the kitchen knives I had to like hid around the house just in case someone was coming in, and I was like freaking out a lot actually. I was like calling my friends. I'm like, oh my gosh, like what if I did this and like they're looking through my thing? I freaked myself out, and that's what a lot of people can do when you go into the rabbit hole and don't keep that mindset. Yeah, it will keep you in sanity so that you don't turn psychosis. Yeah, and so when you do that, be aware of those videos that when you come out, it's not going to be every single time, but come out with the awareness that is happening. Yeah. And then 2, what you'll find is there's going to be a lot of repeat videos throughout the entirety of that platform, that whole entire domain kind of thing, right? So you'll see video. But if you have been kind of like on that journey for a while, be aware of videos that you've seen in the past put out as videos that seem to have happened now. It was put in the mix in the videos that are around this time, yeah, that shouldn't even be there. And I encourage you, call it out, let them know. I did that before I took myself away from the whole entire conspiracy type of thing, yeah. Because it's deceptive, and what it will do is it will confuse those who don't know better, yeah, of how to approach these type of things. And in that, call them out, yeah, and be like, hey, like, what are you doing in real life? That's what you would do, right? If someone was doing something right there in front of you and then they did something, you would call them out, right? Do the right thing, because it's for everybody and yourself. And then that person, like, we can know if they're a false prophet, yeah. During this time, it says in the teacher has taught, not only will they do signs and wonders that is going to be so real that even the elect could have been deceived, if the elect were possible to be deceived, yeah. So they're going to be, everyone's going to get deceived if you're not an elect. What happens is a lot of people will fall for that, then go on that basis, and whatever that person has said, if it does not come to pass, especially, and this is why you should never say a date. You should never, if you are prophetic, yeah, no prophet will ever say a date. If someone says a date, they're not a prophet. They're false. Right there. That's easy uncovering. I was like, yeah, because if it doesn't come true, then you're a false prophet. That means you a liar. Like, you a liar. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't trust men. I don't trust people. I always go into things like this with consideration, very huge consideration for myself first and foremost, and then the other person, because I don't know you. So of course I'm gonna keep it to myself. If I know you, of course I'm gonna put you in front of me. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be kind, but like with a stranger, you should always put a guard. You don't know people. People are crazy. I've met some of the sweetest people who have then turned schizophrenic, and I didn't even know. And I've attracted a lot of schizophrenic people in my life. Like, and of course I'm kind. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're schizophrenic. No, after I find out, then I can adjust myself to knowing how to be friends with people like that. That's why they come to me, because I know how to filter out that type of energy. I've always been called an energy filter. Yeah. So in that, be aware, call them out, do the right thing, and if not, yeah, it's okay. Just remain open to everything, attached to nothing. And then the second one is, when you go through and you get all this information, yeah, you're gonna come out and you're going to feel like energized, yeah. Like how I said, if you're not gonna be if you're gonna be cognitively dissified about something like that, you can turn neurotic on the outside. And people have reached out and was like, like, I've lost weight. What do I do? What do I do? In that, still remain open to that, but not attached to it. But that is what I call, when you get out of the rabbit hole of conspiracy theory, the boon. You went in and got a boon, a little treasure, you went on a adventure and you found a treasure chest and you have this, yeah? Now, do you think it's real gold or do you think it's fool's gold? Yeah, that's the thing about being open to everything, attached to nothing, and being conscious about that, yeah? But you have it and you want it to be real gold, yeah? So you have a hope, but it's not yet time to found your hope into a faith, yeah? What you then do is, with that boon, you contemplate, meditate, yeah? And you reflect on it. You have to do that in consciousness and considerations, because you don't want to place your faith in something that has false value. Good girl. That's my dog. So, what you do is, when you contemplate, you meditate, and you reflect on this, yeah? That's you gathering your information. This is you getting wizened to it. The structuring, yeah? This right here is going to go into the rooms of your house. When I say your house, your temple, yeah? This is going to be your knowledge base. What you have inside of your house in each room is knowledge, yeah? And that knowledge is going to be awesome treasures that moth and rust cannot destroy, where thieves do not break in and steal, yeah? With that, you don't want to put counterfeit things inside of your temple, your house, your rooms, yeah? So what you do is you contemplate, meditate, reflect, get the knowledge, get the wizened to it. Go out and see if those people are saying the truth. Don't just start running around the world proclaiming it as fact, because if it doesn't come to pass, don't look foolish, yeah? That's why it says if anybody follows someone who is pretty much a false prophet or turns into one. And when I say false prophet, I don't mean someone who has been conspiring in the background, like, okay, I'm going to plan this because I'm going to fool everybody. Ha 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 ha. Not like that at all. Yeah, you have to get out of a cognitive dissonance, because it doesn't work like that. That's landing on the mind of man. What it is these people are completely true, honest to their own factorings, and that's why they feel this passion to do what they're doing, yeah? But then they stumble because they're not wizened enough on how to handle that. And that's where they will say a date or make something, or even do it, but they suggest it, yeah? So that there's an expectation now planted for a future, and nobody can know what comes after him, yeah? And no prophet will ever tell you something that's and he can explain it, yeah? It doesn't work like that. The only thing that can see into the future is something that is way above, yeah? Because you need to overview, and way above, and then also something that is way above that has the knowledge to understand what it's seeing. There's things above that can tell you the future, but they don't have the knowledge about how to, what, why, the hows, the who's, the whens, yeah? So that's another thing you have to be aware of. And so if you fall for that and then went out without contemplating, meditating, and reflecting after you have this boon that gave you this zeal, this energy, like, oh yeah, exciting, it's new, yeah? You found treasure, and it doesn't come to pass, not only are they now a false prophet, you have become a fool. And then everything that you have based your walk on, what you was saying, blurting out to everybody, and then to that point, yeah, was folly. And don't do that, yeah? Because we're better than that. That's why you need to be wizened in it. It gives you prudence. It gives you caution. It gives you the ability to control your thoughts and take charge of your tongue, so that your breath, your spirit that comes out doesn't turn false, and that your lips or your discernment gates are strong and fortified, yeah? So that's why there's a power in being meek. There's a power in silence. Many levels to that power too. So you contemplate, meditate, and reflect. And even in that contemplation, meditation, and reflecting, don't do that in confusions, and don't do it in profusions. Still remain open to everything, attached to nothing. Even when you found this treasure, don't attach yourself yet, yeah? When you then feel good about it enough that you can have enough basis to at least sustain something, yeah? If you're proclaiming something as something, and then someone says, "Oh, think about this." In the Book of Wisdoms, it says, "It will always seem awesome and true to anybody, to the witness, yeah, which is you saying something is fact, until someone else comes with the question." Yeah, then it's like, ooh, that's the first time someone has conflicted with you. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, do you have enough foundational ammo to base why you're saying something in such a truth? Yeah. And remember, this is all conspiracy theories, which is just as real as air. But we know about air. That's where we can all blueprintly, fundamentally understand how this works. Yeah. But everything else, like, how can you explain it just as real as air, huh? So then that's where it shakes, right? Do you have enough? during your meditations and contemplations and information gathering and knowledge to sustain why you can proclaim something so factual. So in that, when you have enough of that and you have founded it, then you have what I call the leveling up. You have matured in your spirit. You have expanded your mansion. Yeah, your office has expanded your little. Yeah, like you become bigger, better, more mature, more wizened. Yeah, bigger, better, bolder, badder. You have more knowledge. It's more power. Yeah. When that happens, the next time you go into the rabbit hole, yeah, the concept of being open to everything, attached to nothing, therefore changes as well with the maturity of that level up. And you are then, yeah, open to everything down the rabbit hole, attached to that one thing that you had found. That is where your hope has been founded. That's called the founding of your faith. Yeah, you can land on that. You aren't just floating down the rabbit hole in darkness. You have a, a magic carpet kind of thing. Yeah, it's a little bit more power for you, a little bit more control during the uh, unknown, pretty much that new frontier that is widely spread out and really registers with people who are searching for the truth and trying to find themselves and find their center and find their imbuements of the spiritual sense as well as the physical sense as well as just the futuristic sense. Yeah. So in this leveling up, the one thing you have to understand is it is now as fun as it can be because it's always excitement. Yeah. Learning new things and seeing how these people who are speaking of the same things and then like the comments and then getting to a group and they're all like-minded on something that we can't even understand. It then registers as very serious for you as an individual person for the entirety of your infinity. Yeah. This is going to be your real life consequence of soul and spirit for eternities. What you're founding and basing your faith in. Yeah. What you are standing on. Because if something comes along and shakes your world up, what you founded on, can that withstand it? Is it based on a rock or was it fortified on sand? Yeah. This is the bottom of you. This is your heart level. That's why I'm saying with conspiracy theories and everything that you're registering, yeah, when it comes down to the real, raw, nitty-gritty truth about life itself and you as an individual living life, what you're basing your faith in, leveling up in, is it strong enough to support? Is it strong to withstand? Is it as strong as air? Yeah? And that is serious. You have to understand that so that you're not confused in the end. Because in the end, if it finds out that there was something even greater than what you had based it on throughout your entire walk, even if it seems so right for years and years, yeah? And then it's realized that, oh, what you had based it on turned out to be false. There was something even greater, and that shakes the world. That false thing is going to fall down, yeah? Everything false will fall down. The truth reigns supreme. That's why you have to walk in truth, okay? So in this whole thing, when you're going into the new thing with the information's coming in, I will never tell you must believe in this. You need to. You must. You. Who am I? Yeah. Who am I to tell another person that I can't even control my own hair? I can't even control when I wake up. I can't control nothing. Neither can you. You know. So we're all in the same boat. We're all stupid, but at the same time, we're all super smart. Yeah. We're all geniuses. Like, do you see how I'm saying? So potential is everything with us. Yeah. And faith is a huge and important factor that you have to consider in your life. And with my faith, what I wanted to share is that I have based my faith in Jesus Christ, the man of Nazareth, the Bible, or the of Nazareth that can be found in the Bible, the word of truth and all that stuff. Before that, I was not at all. I was into everything else. Like I said, I was in the rabbit hole, being getting lost and getting dirty and finding all these things and being the fool and proclaiming things to people, and then it doesn't come true and I look stupid, and you know, many times since since I was 5. So that's a long time. And that's why if you watch the other videos, I say it's because this is the truth. Okay, when I was going through and during, say, the Necronomicon, which is the book of the dead, is from back in the Babylonian days. Yeah, um, it worked. Yeah, there was things that I could do, and it worked. And I've always been on that sense, the spiritual side. Yeah, I've always been knew about magic. Yeah, um, and so yes, there is a bit of power there. I did the meditations and it worked. Yeah. I'm not saying that Buddhism is like, oh, a religion that it's evil. Not at all. I'm not saying even the Necronomicon is evil. Not at all. Yeah. But they work. They're beautiful and it's fun and it's dangerous and it's exciting and it's knowledgeable and it's strengthening. Yeah. Um, but like I said, there was something bigger that came about. Yeah. And so, yeah, those things worked. But with this one, it's the truth. Like, it's the truth. And even if there is a bigger one, I have enough. There's enough of this one that is more simple than the other ones that I can explain it. And it's like air. Do you see how it's a fact to me? Because I know it's like air. The other ones, it was more real than air. Yeah, it was more like this. It was as real as this. I could make things to happen. Yeah, but this is fake. These are fake. Air will always be there, and that's why that one's like air, and that's why I'm not a religion. I'm not a culture. I'm not part of a group. I'm not part of a people. Yeah, I am me. I've always been me, and that's why when I found this one, I know it's the truth, and I only speak the truth, and I'll only give out what is the best. I only follow the best. And what I sucked was because in the beginning of this, it was like I realized the church, it made Jesus Christ seem so soft. They made humility sound so weak, and humility is so dangerous. Humility is the dangerous. It is like going to consume all the other ones. Humility is the ground. Yeah, it's fortified. It will cover everything. It will cover. Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, I don't just that and that's all. Not at all. I don't have any structuring. I don't do the Sunday thing. I don't pray before I eat. I'm always in Thanksgiving. Like, you know, beside the point. That's why I base it on that solid rock and foundation. Yeah. When it comes to people who are in other faiths, yeah, I'm not saying that you guys are wrong, but the fruits of your labor and inactions, always watch that. Watch your reactions. I had someone on my forum just recently. He started off with good intentions, but you can't deceive the elect. I'm not saying that I'm the elect, but it's easy to not deceive me anymore because I'm used to being considerate about everything and everyone. Even if I'm talking to you and I don't call it out there. It's not my duty to call it out, but it's my duty to just be aware of things. Yeah. Does it mean that I'm going to be like, oh, I'm never going to see you again? If I know that you're being deceptive or whatever, we'll still be friends, and I won't call up your deceit until it comes out. Then I'll be like, hey, and then I already know. Yeah. But that's just me in practice. I don't know what the elector. I think they're going to be. I don't. The elect is, you're elected. Like, yeah, you have more power. I'm just me. So in that, I'm just. I can tell who's lying. That's all. Yeah. Even if they don't know. So with that, what I wanted to say is, oh yeah, and so yeah, you can base your things and whatnot and whatnot, yeah, but in the standard of communication and debate as well. Yeah, with this one, because I've done all the other ones, like I know about them. This one, that's why it's called the King of Kings, the God of Gods, the Lord of Lords. Yeah, and with, say you believe in Muhammad. Yeah, he is a god. He is a lord. He is a king. At one time, he was at a power that was of the God. He was at a power that was of the Lord. He was at a power that was of the king. This new covenant destroyed everything. That's why it's hated, yeah, because it destroyed and demolished everything. Because now that there's a king over all the kings, a lord over all the lords, a god over all the gods, the bigger one that's going to shake, that shook already, the old, and will shake again this time if you do not believe in that bigger one. And I'm not saying, oh, you must believe in that. What I'm saying is those other ones that got demoted when this one was glorified to the point of the right hand, the most powerful one, yeah, those ones that got demoted, they know that he is the King of Kings, and those kings respect him. But the people who have followed that king when that king was the god, the number one king, they remained ignorant in the past, and they're worshiping a carcass, something that doesn't even work anymore. When their god has left and is worshiping the God of gods, because that if they don't, they're gonna die, of course. And everything, no matter if you're a man or just anything that is alive, wants to remain alive. Yeah, and so that's why, in the case of argument, I do want to let you know, like that is why is the rock. And like I said, when you go down the rabbit hole when it comes to conspiracy theories, remaining open and touch nothing, then getting that boon and then facing your faith after a while, getting wise into it, then going back down the rabbit hole and you have a little bit of power and you do it. That's why I no longer have to do this anymore. I don't go through conspiracy theories anymore. Not because I'm like, oh, I have to remain from it. No, I lost interest because this is the rock. Do you see what I'm saying? It's the truth. Once you find the truth, you're at peace. Hello. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share. And keep that in mind. Remain open to everything, attached to nothing when you're going down into when you're doing duality is the ending, but it's not the ending. You cannot say anything is the end. Yeah. Remain open to everything, attached to nothing. If that is your faith based, then I can tell you already it's not the end. Duality is not the end. We are in dualities. That's why we have a right and wrong, and we have a black and white, and then we're going into the gray space. Singularity is the end because it started with singularity. Do you see what I'm saying? The beginning needs to match the end, but what happens is the duality goes into the singularity. It goes like it's a singularity that goes into the duality. Like I said, and in this sense, the rock, the truth, it already says this. This is what I know. The other books, they didn't know this. That's why they were flubbed up. They were a blueprint. They were just one part of many parts that was coming up into the final. So that final singularity could then be imbued to us, who is the duality, and that duality, the singularity, goes into duality. So the end is a singularity, the end is a duality, and the end is more than that. It's everything else, everything in that singularity, which is in everything else, which is a duality, which is everything else, which is a singularity, which is everything else. And then you know what? This video can go on and on until eternity, because that's how it works. It's like this. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, explain that. See what I'm saying? That's why you can't just say that and be like, that's it. It's more. It's always more. You have to exceed expectations, not just expect and then fact. Yeah. If that happens, it's going to go past you. You're going to shake your foundation wasn't strong enough. But the thing is, now that you know that, not what I told you, but what you found out for yourself, like that right there is power, because it was just one step to the fragment. Yeah. Like me explaining like that was just me being like, hey, like, you're a third grader, I'm a fifth grader. Well, sorry, I don't mean to come out like a bully, but that's just the next step, and you'll figure that out for yourself. Yeah, you can. A person can tell you something and you can understand and listen, yeah, but until it's believed like that for yourself, because only a person can make themselves founded in something, grounded in something, yeah, then it's for you. It's still for you. That power, our power, is always going to be in our hands, your hands and my hands, their hands, whoever you are. Your power is with you, yeah. You just need to learn how to realize it, and it will come about. And a lot of people who, not a lot, I shouldn't say a lot of people. The thing is, it's the in what I have based it, what I have found out, and then based it in myself. And yeah, he has everybody, whether they know it or not. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's now, I guess, in this whole thing of proclaiming stuff, it's about bringing it about faster, because that is a universal power. If a lot of people can get their heads around this thing, then we can bring about the kingdom faster. We can bring a peace on earth for everybody faster, that kind of thing. We can bring about the new earth. We can bring about the new heaven. It still depends on our hands all together as one. Yeah. It's not this finger here, and then like they want to try and split. Once you're in accord, that's how, and it says in the, what I have based in my faith in, that's how it works. Your spirit, the air that we breathe, it changes and it imbues, and it's called the Holy Spirit. And you can, that's the thing, as real as air, and air is everywhere and will never leave. And that's what we need. It feeds, yeah, somehow. That's what gets strengthened. And then once it virtualizes in each person at a powerful level, we are thinking alike. We are ascended on the same level, but still ourselves. It will never, it's so great, it will never possess you. That's why when it comes to like tongues and people who push people down, they're like shaking and stuff, and they're like, I'm being imbued by the Holy Spirit. That's not the Holy Spirit. It will never do that to you. It does not possess you, and it does not it does not control you. Your power is still yours, and your choices are still yours, but it's there, and it's fed with that right percept that you do. Yeah, that's how it's fed, and then strengthened, and then new nature. And it's never like, oh, I hear a voice, or it's never going into a trance and being like, oh. It doesn't do stuff like that. That is the Necronomicon. That is the other ones. Those are the other ones that have an overview, that can see the future, the things that are still up there in the heavens as the God and Lord, but they're not the Lord of Lords and not the God of Gods. And I only follow the best, so that's why. But yeah, you are at the perfect spot. But that's what I prior to this in the conversation, I just wish that someone had told me that, because I wouldn't have looked so foolish as as a teenager, like going around. So just remain open to everything, attached to nothing. Once you find your boon, meditate, contemplate, and realize it in knowledge. Yeah, wisen yourself to it, and then not in confusions, not in profusions. Once you founded that, that's where your faith is going to be based in the hope. Yeah, and then when you go back into the conspiracy theory with that new level up, that new maturity, then you're going to be open to everything, attached to that one thing. And then you add, yeah? And that's how you level up in conspiracy theory. Remember what conspiracy means, yeah? And remember what inspire means, yeah? And remember what spire means. And remember, now it all goes back to air, yeah? Conspiracy theory is up in the air, but it's still with spirit, yeah? Espiritos, the Holy Spirit, the air that you breathe. That's going to be the thing that's feeding you. And when I say feeding you, I mean the self inside, that the real self, that eternal self, yeah? And in this time, if you can do it right with the truth that I know, that this one, it's the God of love, yeah? The other ones, they were rough drafts that were accorded during that time, because it was for that time to bring in a little bit of love, the God of love, a portion. You cannot just bring in love all at once. It will destroy everything, yeah? Like it's the most powerful force that we can even imagine to be imagined. So it was the God of love, of course, infusing everything and coming in a little bit. And it came at this point when there was a maturity without us, the living souls, yeah? And then this point in time with the new level up of everybody's consciousness going up, and then this point and this point, and then it ended on this one. He finally came in, and he came in a trillion million pieces of millions and trillions of pieces of his fullness of self, which can fit inside of everybody now. And yeah, and that's why it's like you want to be able to have as much room for the everlasting eternal infinity that the God of gods is, and so the other gods get pushed out, or you can help it and like push them out, but still respect them, because that couldn't have happened if the other ones didn't happen. That's why when people say that Jesus is the anchor, yeah, he's the anchor, but it's not like, oh, the final one, which is, it is the final one, but you have to think, I guess, bigger minded. And with my mind, I've always thought anchor as a relay race, and the other ones were the other legs of the relay race. And Jesus finally said, the baton got passed to him, and he ran, he crossed the finish line, won the race. It is finished, yeah. And as you know, even in sports, like look at Michael Jordan, back in the day, the entire team is the one that got the championships, yeah. But Michael Jordan was the one on the shoulders with the trophy, yeah. Why weren't the other ones there? And why weren't the other ones all mad at the other one and was at Michael Jordan, like pulling him down and being like, because they respected him. Michael Jordan, in other words, was the king of the kings. Do you see what I'm saying? And they all together won the race, kind of thing. So, yeah. And okay. And then the other one I was going to say is, with the conspiracy theories, inspirations, and all that stuff going forward, being aware, yeah, being conscious of this, a lot of things are going to happen. A lot of really real things are going to happen. And if you come on top of the platform, videos and stuff, I will respond to everybody's comments. I always go through and I respond. I treat it like an email platform, yeah. And eventually, hopefully, we can get all on Zoom, so that you guys don't have to be typing and then looking at my face. We can all see each other and just like talk, yeah. But I will always respond in truth, yeah, and just always transparent, always authentic, and I want to say respectable, but respectability is still an opinion, yeah. So like, just do what you need to do, and if it gets offended, then you, like I say, be truth. Just say like, hey, that's stupid. Like, don't talk to me like that. Then the other person, that right there would be a soundbite for the other person. Like, oh, respectability, yeah. Like that's why, like, there's no rules to respectability. It's just as a maturity that is learned with each person, and it can only be learned when somebody else has a discipline that can retort, yeah. And that retort, don't get offended to it, yeah. I guess, well, in other words, like, it's okay to be a little bit, yeah. And not, there is a grace in being not so sensitive, yeah. The intentions of every single person should be for peace and for life. That's what it is, yeah. And progression, and whenever there seems to be a conflict, then ring, consideration. Then you have to consider, like, oh, did I say something? Because some people they're not aware that they can be rude, yeah. Some people aren't aware, and yeah, so that's what it is. If someone is intentionally out to get people, don't worry, I'll see. And you don't want to mess with the facilitator of the platform, because yeah, I'm capable of everything. You know, I am my father's child. So I love you guys. I hope that helped everybody in the new concepts of how to do this, so that you yourselves are imbued with a power of knowledge that will be able to sustain you, and then you can come out with the new things and share with people, yeah. And knowing very well that you are not going to be in folly after. It was going to be awesome, yeah. And if ever you want to if ever you need what's it called, just counsel, someone to talk to, or like any questions, I'm more than happy to talk story like that. It's one of my favorite things to do in the past, especially, yeah. But now that I don't do that, like, yeah, if you ever want to talk about Jesus, or if you want to know about the Holy One, the Righteous One, the one that Jesus of Nazareth, the man, he's a, like I said, he is the best of the best. Like, and I only follow the best. And the other ones were awesome, and I respect them. I still meditate all the time. Yeah, I do my mudras. I do things that I have like a whole new, if you want to say, religion. Anything cultured is like so gross to me. But um but I do my own things, yeah? Like sometimes in my prayers, I don't even say words. I do ohms. And I don't even know where that came from. It's not like I just learned it, yeah? And I learned how to do Tibetan throat mantras and things like that. But it's all, since my faith is on that rock, everything is to that, to the rock of my salvation. So like all glory goes to him. That's why it's not wrong of me to do it. And it's singing unto the Lord a new song. It's not the same old, yeah? Do you remember when Umbrella Ella was out in the world and everyone was like, oh, this is no one else, at this time, no one says it, yeah? Not the same old. We sung unto the Lord a new song, yeah? And like there's no more. There's always going to be more things that you can do. And that is all in the power of yourselves. You can imagine, you can acknowledge, yeah, and all that. The higher you get, you want to make sure that the foundation is strong enough to house that. If you don't have a strong foundation, yeah, it would be wise to know that your foundation is only limited to this potential, yeah. But why would you want to do that? Like, I mean, you can, if you're comfortable, but I mean, just go for the prize that is of everlasting, eternal infinity. Yeah, the foundation of foundations, the kingdom, not just the land. Yeah, not just the domain. You want to go to the royal city. So, anyway, I hope that helped everybody, and if anyone's even here, and welcome if you are. And then I'm gonna get off of this, and then I will see the chat thing, and whoever's on here, I'm gonna get in touch with you, and let's I don't know, like do a Zoom thing so like I can see you guys too. So all right, bye guys.